Good day, sir. So, Unit 3, Two-Dimensional Media. Kung babalikan po natin yung Unit 1, two-dimensional or 2D can be measured by its height and width. Artworks in 2D are flat. Although some works give a 3D effect, this effect po is ginagamit lang po ng mga artists to make their artwork more realistic. This effect on a flat surface is only an illusion of depth. So let's proceed to lesson 1. Support and other materials, which compose of two parts. The first part, the support or the surface, and yung second part naman is the drawing medium or the paints. Yung first part po is ire-report ko, and yung second part naman po is the other reporter will discuss it. Support refers to any material onto which paint is applied. The use of surfaces or support varies depending on the drawing medium or the paint that it is used. Remember that it is able to support the medium it holds para maging maganda yung kalabasan po ng artwork natin. So, let's proceed sa first part, which is the support or the surface po. Number 1 is paper. It is versatile and supports painting of many subjects in a variety of painting approaches. Paper products are an easy and widely available alternative other than other products. For example, kapag nag-start ka pa lang na mag-paint, you can use any papers, cotton band, or cartolina instead of purchasing canvas, which is expensive. And itong cellulose pulp naman na ito is the main ingredient and structural substance of paper kapag ginagawa or pinoproduce ito sa isang paper making machine. And paper is made in two steps. First, cellulose fibers are extracted from a variety of sources and converted to pulp. Second, this pulp is combined with water and placed on a paper making machine where it is flattened, dried, and cut into sheets and rolls. And there are different types of paper. We have three. Texture and surface properties are important choices na kailangan malaman or pag-isipan ng isang artist to alter the outcome of their work. First type is the hot press. It is a non-textured watercolor paper. Kaya nga siya non-textured because the surface is incredibly smooth. It is more suited to fine detail. It handles ink, pens, and pencil details. So, magandang gamitin si hot press kapag detailed yung mga gagawin mong artwork because the smooth surface lends itself to precision. Second type is the cold press. Cold press paper is pressed with cold rollers or plates, and these plates press the surface fibers down, kaya nang iiwan siya sa paper or sa surface ng paper ng medyo magaspang. Hindi siya talaga magaspang, hindi din siya makinis. Nasa gitna lang siya, kaya nga siya moderate texture. When it comes to layering naman, the layers build up individually that can add a lot to your style as an artist. So the third type is the rough paper. As the name suggests, it is the roughest texture paper available. It is pressed between sheets of textured felt during the drying process, while it has a felt-like structure. This paper surface is not recommended for those na gustong gumawa ng mga detailed artwork or pieces kasi nga magaspang or rough yung surface ng paper. Instead, it is more suited to bolder and more expressive painting techniques. So that is the three different types of paper. Number one is the cold press, second one is the hot press, and the third one is the rough paper. The right kind of paper can make a big difference to your work, so it is important that we should know the difference between them and their particular specialties. So now, let's proceed to the different kinds of paper naman. Kanina, types. Ngayon naman, kinds. And we have 6 different kinds of paper. Unahin natin si laid paper, which is a type of paper having a ribbed texture imparted by the manufacturing process. The most obvious characteristic of this is the ridges, as you can see in the picture. This type of paper is thick, makapal, and has a stiff or rigid feel to this surface kind of paper. So, ginagamit itong laid paper ng mga artists as a support for their charcoal drawings. Second kind of paper is the textured pastel, charcoal, and craft paper. The tooth or yung surface feel of the paper's tooth is yung texture or smoothness ng papel. So the tooth and hardness of the paper vary according to the manufacturer, though most have a hard vellum surface which with moderate sizing. Vellum pala is described as the slightly rough surface which is good for graphite, colored pencil, charcoal, pastel, and crayon, as well as expressive larger scale pencil sketching. Third kind of paper is the wove paper, or also known as paper with a wove. It has a smooth finish that is specifically manufactured without texture. Though it has slightly textured, medyo may texture siya, so medyo magaspang siya, but mostly kapag hinawakan mo naman siya is makinis. It is similar to laid paper pero without the textured patterns. Fourth kind of paper is the rough-grained paper, which has noticeably bumpy surface. And in making rough paper, the pulp is pressed without additional heat, so there is a natural variation in the surface. Dahil sa surface nito, it is difficult to control the tone color and just lends itself to simple, broad, expressive gestures in pastel, charcoal, or soft pencil. And this type of paper is also the traditional favorite of watercolorists or watercolor artists. The next one is the medium paper. It has a grainy texture pero manipis lang, hindi tulad ng rough-grained paper na magaspang talaga. So, it may also accentuated by shading with a blunt pencil or charcoal. So, the last kind of paper is the hot press paper. As I've said earlier, it is suitable for fine detail such as pen and inks. The smoother surface of this paper helps you to paint correctly and allows a lot of accuracy in your paintings. So, kadalasan, ginagamit tong hot press paper for portraits, as it requires deliberate strokes and details. So that is hot press paper. And that is the different kinds of paper. Number one, we have the laid paper. Second one is the textured pastel charcoal and craft paper. The next one is the wove paper. We have the rough grained paper, medium paper, and the last one is the hot press paper. So, we're done discussing paper, the different types and different kinds. So, now let's proceed to canvas naman. Canvas, it is versatile painting surface and comes in a variety of shapes, sizes, and forms to suit every need and budget, of course. So, gesso is a generic term that is used for the initial coat applied to a support before it is painted on. So, ang purpose ng gesso ay para dumikit yung paint na ilalagay mo doon sa support na gagamitin mo, which is the canvas. For it affects the absorbency of the support. So, the canvases are available in various forms to suit different applications and budgets nga, as I've said. So, let's talk about naman the four main types of canvas. First type of canvas is the stretch canvas. From the word itself, ini-stretch siya or yung canvas sa kahoy, which called the stretch bars. And kadalasan ginagamit itong type ng canvas na ito, the stretch canvas in acrylic painting. And it is mostly made of cotton. And this type of canvas is already primed with gesso to create an ideal painting surface. And naka-prime siya either for oil or acrylic painting. So, kaya dapat kung bibili ka ng ganitong type ng canvas, ay sasabihin mo kung anong painting ang gagawin mo para maging maayos or maganda yung kalabasan ng magiging piece mo. Second type of canvas is the canvas panels. Itong canvas panels is alternative siya kay stretch canvas because it also have a high quality. These panels are great for practice, especially for beginners, and pwede mo siyang dalhin kahit saan. As you can see sa picture is para lang siyang pack ng coupon band, making it perfect for students like me. And hindi nga lang siya katulad ni stretch canvas na nagtatagal talaga kasi para nga lang siyang pack ng coupon band. So, mas maikli yung buhay niya kaysa kay stretch canvas. The third one is the canvas pads. The sheets used in many pads can be stretched or mounted. Pero, hindi rin siya katulad ni stretch canvas and canvas panels na talagang nagtatagal. Kung i-rate natin, okay gamitin si stretch canvas pero expensive. Second one is the canvas panels and i-rate natin si canvas pads as the third. And as you can see sa picture is para lang siyang big notebook which is ideal for novices students or just for practice only lang talaga siya. Fourth type of canvas is the canvas rolls. If you're an experienced painter or let's say a professional painter or an artist who likes to prepare and stretch your own canvas, or gusto mong gumawa ng malaking paintings, then canvas rolls is the best choice for you. They're usually sold by the yard or in rolls, which is mahal talaga, expensive siya talaga. So, that is the four types of canvases. We have the stretch canvas, canvas panels, canvas pads, and the canvas rolls. Before investing in any canvas, do some research and check out all the options in order to choose the type of canvas that is best suited to your needs and your pocket, of course. So, we are done with the paper in the canvas. The third one is the wood. Historically, wood panels were used for paintings long before the adoption of flexible fabric supports. For example, is yung mga Renaissance paintings which created on solid wood panels. Isa pang example po is yung mga paintings ni Raphael that are painted on primed wood panels. So, magandang gamitin si wood as a support kasi nga makapal and matigas yung surface niya, which is less cracking in the paint. So, we have different kinds of wood. We have three. First is the masonite. It is a trademark brand name of a particular type of brand. It is cheap but durable naman. This is good for beginners and some professional artists even prefer this over canvas. The front surface of this is smooth and the back surface is rough and textured. Second kind of wood is the plywood. We know that plywood is sheet material wood which is made of multiple layers of standard wood sheet. So, paint colors sit entirely only when it is done on something smooth and hard plywood. The more smoothness of the plywood, the simpler for the brush to move and for the paint to sit. Last kind of wood naman is the laminated board. Special properties that are available in this kind of wood includes chemical, fire, and wear resistant. So that is the three kinds of wood. We have the masonite, plywood, and the laminated board.